Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 8 of Buckets of Duckets. I am your host, Chase Myers, and over there is my co-host, the one, Josh Watts.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, I forgot to turn off my extra light down here.
You got your ghost light going?
Yeah, this is episode 8, which is 12 less than 20, which is double 10, which I call a twice a deuce.
Ooh, you had tags on that one.
Yeah, bro. Take some notes in there, huh?
I
got twists and turns in this story now.
I don't want to challenge you, but I'd have to say you thought about that before we started recording.
You would think that, wouldn't you?
Ooh,
My brain works so efficiently that I didn't think about it at all. I just said it.
Guys, thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you hit subscribe on whatever it is that you are listening or watching us on.
Is it down here? Because I've always wanted to be able to go hit that subscribe button.
I could probably throw one in. I could probably learn some stuff and put it in there. It's for sure in the what I guess it'd be. I'm trying to think of how it'd work for us. The left.
Y'all know how YouTube work.
It'd be in the left corner. That's up every time. So you point to the left corner, you got it.
Whatever.
Y'all
know how YouTube work.
Hit that goddamn button. Just hit it. And also, give us a rating on Apple Podcasts, man. That helps us over there.
Only 5 stars, though. Don't give anything less than 5.
Yeah,
Apple
if
will
you're
give
not
us
giving
an address if you do.
If you're not giving 5 stars, keep that shit to yourself, okay?
Yeah.
There's no need. Your silence is heard, okay? I don't. You not saying nothing. I heard it loud and clear. That's fine. That's fine. Just yeah. So what? How we want to start this, man? I got a lot of stuff.
Let me tell you this. So earlier this week, I learned to do kettlebell exercise that I was very excited about.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I like about kettlebells is you do high repetitions. So usually, like exercise is 200 reps, right? 100, 200. I usually do.
You tell me, dude. I'm not one throwing around kettlebells.
So usually I like to do like 20 sets of 10 of whatever it is, or I try.
Okay.
And I was doing these high pulls, I guess you would call them, where the kettlebell swings and then you pull it up high like this to work your shoulder blades. So it's a new exercise. I just tried it out. I went real hard on it.
Just came out last Friday.
Just brand new. Invented in the 1800s with the rest of the kettlebell stuff. Just now made its way from Russia to me. And it was a great workout.
Is kettlebell like a Russian thing?
Oh yeah. Kettlebells
that fits.
I'm like, they're old. I don't want to put it like 1600s, something like that. And they're mostly Russian. Like everything I learned about kettlebells, I basically learned from Instagram, watching. It sounds weird, but I would find dudes that looked like I wanted to look, and I would follow what they did. And I found out a lot of them did kettlebell stuff.
Yeah.
And you end up seeing like, there are Russian dudes doing kettlebells immediately because they wear like all spandex suits, and they're just doing shit that doesn't look like it should be possible for people. Like American guys like do, they're like normal looking workouts. Russian dudes are flipping shit upside down in the snow, and it's fucking weird. Fighting bears. Russians.
I know them. They're always in the snow fighting bears. You can't. Every time I go out in the snow, I'm stepping over Russians, and I saw a bear run just straight. I was hiking one day. I saw a bear just take off running, and I was like, man, what could that bear be running from? And here came a fucking Russian just chasing after him,
kettlebells at him.
throwing kettlebells at him.
So I did, but yeah, they're mostly Russian, or that's where I think they were like most famously used. So I can do this exercise. Got a great pump on. I felt fucking great all day. Go to sleep.
Got a great pump in.
I go to sleep. Wake up the next morning. My fucking back is killing me. In between my shoulder blades is killing me, and it hurts for like 4 or 5 days. But somewhere between doing that new exercise that worked that very specific muscle group and waking up the next morning with that very specific muscle group being very sore, I forgot what caused it. And so Michelle, my wife, has heard me for 4 days, but I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. I think I'm going crippled. I've been trying to sleep with a baby. Maybe he's rolling over on my shoulder. My back is fucked.
You think the baby did it? It was the baby, right? We
just brought this dog home. Coincidentally, a day or two, my back starts hurting. What the fuck is that about? Did he? Is this collar 5G? Is that what just happened? Did he come in this house with a 5G collar? Now I'm fucked.
They microchipped him, so he definitely got 5G.
I made my wife smear a Tiger Balm all over my body and wrap me in saran wrap, stick me in the microwave for 35 seconds every morning before she went to work. But then,
that's the least she could do.
I woke up this morning.
That's the least she could do with this injury that was just thrown on you from nowhere. I mean,
from nowhere. And the best part is, it wasn't like my wife was like inside. And she was standing right there telling me, "How many of those are you doing?" And I said, "They're new, but I'm going to try." And she's like, "That seems like a lot. Maybe don't. You're going to hurt yourself." And I was like, "Yeah, right."
You don't know nothing.
You don't know nothing about nothing. And then the next morning, I was like, "Hey, can you put this Tiger Balm on my back because I can't move?" It took, no joke, it took 4 days for me to remember why my back hurt. And I only remembered it after my back stopped hurting enough for me to work out. I went outside to work out. It was like, oh.
There
I saw
it is.
In the mirror, when I walked out, I saw my backyard fence is all just mirrors. Because when I work out there, I want to see all the angles.
I get it. You don't got to explain it to me.
Woo!
Look.
I'm explaining it to the people in America. They don't understand. Some of these I was about to go into a Rick Rude. Some of these Minnesota pork belly fat asses don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That used to be one of my favorite things whenever he would come out and call people sweat hogs.
Explain him. Explain who he is.
Okay. So it took me 4 days to remember why my back hurt. But what I'm talking about is a professional wrestler named Ravishing Rick Rude.
What a name.
Who was one of my...
What a name. First off, Ravishing Rick Rude. That's a man.
And he has the mustache that you expect a guy named Ravishing Rick Rude to have. He has that mustache. He used to put... whenever he was fighting people, he would put like their wife's face on his tights, like airbrushed on his tights, and then he would do this move that just disrespect the whole family, and then he'd have to get beat up at WrestleMania. One of my favorite, you can look up right now, there's a picture of Rick Rude standing in a parking lot holding a bag of weed and a gun with Big Van Vader for just whatever. And every time I hear about Rick Rude on a podcast, they're like, he loved guns and smoking weed.
That son of a bitch loved dope. That was my favorite.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I listened to Stone Cold on a podcast, and that's how every time Rick Rude came up, Stone Cold's like, that son of a bitch loved dope.
He used to come out to the ring and he would say that what he's doing, this is for the ladies and he needs all you. And then whatever town he's in, he would just run them down. You Minnesota sweat hogs are like all you out of shape Louisiana lard asses. And
hey! Boo! Boo!
Oh, it worked every time. Like, hey! I'm not a sweat hog, you son of a bitch. Even though I'm eating pork rinds in a
You don't even know my wife. Did you sleep with my wife, Ravishing Rick Rude?
He would randomly pull women out of the crowd and kiss them.
Yeah.
And they would faint.
Real
the
things.
Best part of that was,
guys, check out wrestling every now and then. Even I know that you're not. It's hard to like push wrestling on people, and I've learned just to kind of like you got to tell them these type moments. Just I can't explain everyone, but every now and then, so a man like Ravishing Rick Rude is on your TV. You need to check it out.
So I do want to tell you that brings me to a Ravishing Rick Rude story that was told to me personally by Jake the Snake Roberts and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, my very close personal friends.
That's right.
I did a show with them. Bragged about it a million times. It's like one of the greatest things I've ever done in comedy. And they were so nice because I did hey, do you remember that time that you fought Sting in a coal miner's glove match and you had to put the coal miner's glove on, but then Sting beat you? That was crazy, right? Like, I was that dude. And they answered all my questions. And I said, what's one of your favorite pranks you ever pulled on somebody? And in a big circle full of comedians, Jake Roberts said, one time Paul Orndorff got a woman, he called her a ring rat because that's the term they use, like truckers call lot lizards.
Yeah. Yeah. That was always a cute one.
Like, they use that term for women that hang around, like groupies. That's the term for wrestling groupies, is how they refer to them. And he was saying that Paul Orndorff got a woman to blow him, and then keep it in her mouth. And she was the woman that was randomly picked from the crowd for Rick Rude to kiss. And when he kissed her, she blew Mr. Wonderful's
Say it.
Mr. Wonderful's jizz all over Rick Rude's big beautiful mustache.
All right, well let's
because it was a match, he couldn't stop or freak out. He just had to go with it.
Yeah, I got other questions. Not did he have the match? More so, how long do you think was the time in between blowjob to Rick Rude's match? Like,
too long.
Did she just keep it in for an hour and a half and then this like?
I don't know.
Dude, this poor woman. This
had to be a long time, but I wasn't going to question Jake Roberts about it. I've seen him DDT.
Get him on the phone. I'll ask him. Call up Jake Roberts.
He did give me his email, like his actual real email, because we're best friends now. Me, Jake, and Nate Bergatz.
Don't you do it. Don't you goddamn do it. I saw it coming.
We got way off track on the Rick Rude thing. But Rick Rude, man. Kissing women with mouthful of jizzes, weed, and guns. That's what you need to know about him.
Good time. That's a good time.
That's why he's in the Hall of Fame right there. That's all you need to know about him.
That is a rough one. How do you keep it together when somebody has spit jizz in your mouth?
As funny as that story was to hear, I think it was funnier to watch him tell a group of comedians that weren't all wrestling fans. Because, like, if you don't know anything about wrestling and you hear that story, like, to me, it's gross, but, like, X-Pac shits in people's gym bags all the time, so did Randy Orton. You hear that constantly. So, like, it's not that weird. But people that don't know anything about wrestling think that a woman holding a man's jizz in her mouth for an hour and a half to spit it on another dude as a practical joke is crazy. And honestly, that's the America that I fought for.
Which one?
The one where a woman holds a professional wrestler's semen in her mouth for at least 2 hours probably, and then kisses another professional wrestler on his mouth and blows it into his mustache as a practical joke set up by other professional wrestlers.
And I want to thank you for
that. God bless America.
Land that I love. Yeah, buddy. Appreciate all that you did.
People's face hear that story.
Ooh, I wish that we could see the people when they hear this. This is, I mean, you're spreading it.
So Chase gonna cut the first 45 minutes out of. Hey, I took out everything you said. I just the whole episode. It's just me. It's just an episode of Chase and a frozen picture of me.
Last episode, I went off on this. It's on the cutting room floor. We don't cut out. We make it sound like we cut out a lot of shit. We really don't. But just every now and then, there's some points that are dumb or whatever. I was talking about
stuff back real quick.
Yeah, I was talking about the chop zone up here, formerly known as Chaz, formerly known as the autonomous, whatever the fuck. And I'm real confused about it because the news have shown it a little bit different than how it actually is. But last week I was real bold and was like, ain't nothing gonna happen there. These are peaceful, great people. Ain't not you could chop my dick off right now if something happens at Chop. That's what'll happen. And then literally, like, we got done, and then the news was like, somebody got shot at Chopped. And so I chose to save myself there and chose just to explain it this week as opposed to just being a full-on asshole with opinions and stuff. Dude, why did I ever think I knew things? Why would I think? I haven't been to the area. I've had friends send me very happy looking videos and shit, but I haven't actually went. So why would I be all just bold about it? Like everything's going, like I'm out there singing Kumbaya.
You're way too assertive about it too. That's the problem. You got to be more. Yeah, like you got to be able to walk it back, man.
That's why I just cut it out. There's no walking it back. I took a hard stand. I took a hard stand that was proven wrong immediately.
Well,
I'm still pulling for those guys, though. I still think what they're doing is great. I mean, I'm sorry, it sucks something bad happens, but I mean, I actually am still behind them. Fucking live out there until they give you everything you want.
So we have, now that Daisy's here, I'm learning the difference in a young dog that has a lot of energy and my old fat ass lazy dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, she likes to walk a lot. And I'm learning a lot about my neighborhood because I don't like to talk to people in my neighborhood at all. But since we had Daisy, I want to make sure that she's like gentle. So everybody we see, if they look at her at any, you can tell somebody likes dogs whenever you walk by them. They look at the dog. I'm always like, hey, she's a rescue. I'm Josh. This is Daisy. Can I introduce you to her? To try to socialize her, but also in case she ever gets out, like people in the neighborhood will, oh yeah, I saw that dude with the dog. But it's had some very unexpected consequences. Now my neighbors know me, and they just
That's Josh problem.
And say things to me when they see me. They just walk up, just walk to my face, and just start.
Do they
talking.
have a dog?
No.
Oh, they need a dog. You can't just walk up to people. The reason that you were able to walk up is you were like, I have this great dog. Would you? I know you want to meet this dog. Yeah. What does Shelly have that lives 2 streets over? You ain't got shit.
Not a goddamn thing.
You got a horrible casserole. That's all you got.
She doesn't have the right to walk up to my face and just start saying words to me. That's what she doesn't have. Whoo, boy, I've been hot about it too. One lady said, hey, Josh, how's Daisy? And I said, who the fuck? Who told you? Huh? Who the fuck told you? Who said something? Huh? Who? And then she got all scared and ran in her house. I stayed outside of her window for an hour saying, you gonna tell me? You gonna tell me? And I was just shaking her house. She was scared, dude. I shook the whole house.
Wow. I mean, that's really her fault, honestly. I mean, there's no way you can hear that story and blame you in any way. So.
And I've also found out that somebody in my neighborhood is like a super QAnon person.
What?
And I did not, the QAnon movement or Q.
No, I don't.
Oh, fuck. I don't even know where to start to explain. It's like the conspiracy that, oh man, I don't want to get this all wrong. But it's like the conspiracy that Trump is really a genius and everything he's doing is on purpose and it's really, whatever.
Okay.
So it's
okay.
Trump's a genius and everything.
He's a genius.
Cleaning the swamp out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
so
this
is.
Guy, here it is.
He's been acting that way for 77 years, but it's all a ruse. I get it. I could see it.
Acting.
I could see it. I could get how somebody you would think that all the actions they've made their entire life up until this point would reflect who they are, but actually that's not true at all. Actually, what he's done this whole time, it's to trick people like us.
Yeah, big dumb lib turds. Fall for it every fucking time, man.
I do every time. And
you put some hugs or like some some flowers or is it ponies? Put ponies on it.
Dude, if you put a coexist bumper sticker on it, like
woo!
Dude.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Whatever your cause is, I'm in. It says I searched this in my encyclopedias and it says
what they got
Encyclopedia Britannicas.
Britannica.
The whole bookshelf of them right there.
Look at him. I saw it.
You saw him.
It's the new edition too, right? It's the 2020 version?
Yeah.
Yep.
QAnon is a far-right conspiracy theory detailing a supposed secret plot by alleged deep state against President Donald Trump and his supporters. Oh, my bad.
They're out to get him.
Deep state is trying to get Trump. All right, well, maybe I don't understand what Q is, but when I saw the flag, I knew that they were dumb.
Your instinct was right. You don't need to know what it is. Like, I have just as much respect for it now as I did earlier, which is absolutely fucking none. So, you're fine.
Yeah, so
that's your favorite neighbor now? Y'all having dinners and stuff? You gonna invite you over?
It's a black American flag, and it has a red stripe down it and then a big red Q on it, and Q is leaking the deep state secrets and telling everybody that Trump, and because Trump's a piece of shit, he's kind of fueled it a little bit at some of his rallies. He's waved at people and then made it look like he's drawing a Q with his hand, with his little tiny fucking hands.
Okay. Man.
Anyway, so the guy had a flag in his front yard, and when I started paying more attention, he's got a whole lot of red flags. Like his car says, no vaccines, no no vaccines, no justice. He's anti-vax. He's QAnon, and
and wearing a mask, right? Just out there. Oh, he loves masks, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's giving me weird looks because I wear a mask.
Are y'all in Louisiana? Are y'all about to require masks?
I believe so. I think they said, but I mean,
we're in Washington. So we record this Thursday before it came out. On Friday, so tomorrow it's mandatory for everybody here to wear masks.
I've been wearing one, so I don't know the exact.
Yeah, I mean, if I go, I don't. I guess if I go anywhere, I got one on, so I don't know. I'm usually just in and out.
I wear one all the time, and if I go like to the store or anything, and I come home, try to shower and change clothes, just I don't know if it helps or not, but
just
my kids
caring.
are still alive, so maybe
just caring about people,
just giving a shit. That's all it is. Did you see that Sammy Hagar, the former lead singer of Van Halen?
I'm sure they still tour.
He's willing to sacrifice some people to get the economy back up and running.
Well, he's not the one fucking sacrificing anything. What do you mean? He's just sitting at home.
That's just the headline. Like he just called the newspapers like, "Hey, let's kill some fucking people and get this economy going again, huh?" Like,
also,
when was the last time we heard from you, Sammy Hagar? 1996. What are you doing here? And he's like, "Nah, I just can't tell you. Let's get rid of some people."
Also, like, I don't know if he's still performing, but I know a lot of old acts will still do casinos or whatever. They'll do it till they die. So you're basically saying I'll kill my audience. I'll kill my fans. It don't matter to me. I just want to make a dollar. The only people
that like Sammy Hagar still are old enough to die from either falling down one of those little 2-step stairs at the gas station or the casino, or from coronavirus. So maybe watch your mouth, Sammy Hagar, and your tequila is bullshit.
You thought you were safe, Sammy. You are not safe. All right, the Duckets will come and get you.
Sammy Hagar, anybody else, y'all can get a big old serving of these BODs. Believe that. All right.
Believe that. Hey, we got a new website.
Oh man.
We're not very good at this because we probably should have led with that and tell everybody to go to bucketsofduckets.com. But it's live, yo. We got a live website, and I couldn't be happier with it. It's
very fancy, and it's not run by somebody that's going to break up with Chase or me very soon. So that's good. We don't have to worry about the passwords disappearing.
Yeah.
Or anything, and it's really beautiful. We got new logos. We're gonna have T-shirts and stickers.
Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff coming.
Car covers. Remember the car bras like you used to get? We're gonna have some of those. Those hats with the 2 cans in it, but it's going to be 2 vape pens and a helmet. It's going to be cool. It's all going to be branded.
I like the vision. You guys make sure.
Creative. I can't make it happen, but I can think about
it. Yeah, man. I can't believe how little we kind of knew about that situation. So every time that me and Josh have the first version of the show that we did years ago, we kind of always had that thing of we know people. People will, will do it for us because they like us or whatever. And we had some people
because we're very handsome.
Because we're very handsome and very kind, and people want to help you when you're handsome and kind. And so, we would always just have I would try to figure out how to do it and stuff like that because I just think that I could do everything. And it turns out paying a professional is the way to go. That is
it's the easiest.
So much better. I had no idea how much that shit cost though, because in my head I was like, all right, so we're gonna get a good website. That's got to be what, $300-$400, something like that.
Maybe
that's got to be maybe. I mean, if you really want to go for it, I think
that's not even a down payment.
No, dude. Yeah, it's. I mean, we had to empty some buckets on that one, but
I mortgaged my house for our website.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that.
Well, I believe in what we're doing here. I believe in the message, and I want everyone to hear what we've got to say, or take my house. What if either people love my show or take this house.
Take that house, dude. That's amazing. That's putting it out there for the team. I appreciate that, bro. That's why we partnered up. That is why we partnered up. So go check it out, guys. Bucketsofduckets.com. You'll be able to get to all the links to however you listen, however you watch. You can get it all through there.
You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and all that stuff. We're going to start doing more of that now that we have a decent website to send you to. So
yeah, we're good things are happening. We're excited about it, and thank you guys for being here to help us get there. We did. Or should I say, I did a second Zoom show
I did the first 15 minutes of a second Zoom show.
You did nothing. You did absolutely nothing. You. All right, so hold on. I guess let's get into it. So, as you know, a couple episodes ago, we did our first like Zoom show, like comedy show. It's a virtual comedy show, basically.
They said they listened to the podcast, and we shit on Zoom shows for the first 4 or 5 episodes, and then they asked us to do a Zoom show, and so we did it, and they shit on that Zoom show the next episode, and then they asked us to do another one.
Yep.
And I said
no. So yeah, after we did the first one, me and Josh are both like, yeah, we're never gonna do that again. And then we got asked to do it again. We're like, we'll do it again. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I had a good time on this one. I still, it's still not stand up. I'm so. I riffed about this a little bit during my set, if you can call it a set. Like
you riffed on a Zoom set.
Yeah, nice. I mean the first. So I did both. I had a little riff, and then I had a safety net because I did like a 5-year-old joke. But so, and then I ended on some riffing. But I think I'm mad. The thing that Corona really took from me is I used to be fearless, dude. I used to go up in front of crowds of people and I couldn't wait for the dude in front of me to get off stage. Get the fuck off the stage so I could get the mic and let's go. Dude, we were kings. We were kings. And now I'm like nervous before I sit in my bedroom and talk to my laptop. Because it's just a whole different thing. It's so different. But like, it's crazy how I literally like. I've always heard comics kind of give the advice of like, if you stop getting like nervous before you get on stage, like that's not a good sign. Like you should still have some kind of fears. And I mean, dude, I hadn't gave a fuck in 3 years. I haven't been scared of anything that I've gone up there with. I feel like I've seen every example of how it can go. I know how bad it can get, and I know how great it can get, and I'm willing to live in any of it. So I'm not too stressed going up there. But I don't know how good a Zoom show can go. Honestly, all I kind of know is how bad it can go. And so like, yeah, it surprised me that I was actually a little nervous whenever it started.
I have confidence in a state because I was nervous on the Zoom for the Zoom shows too, which is why I didn't do the second one. But in front of a crowd of people, which I miss so fucking much, in front of a crowd of people, I know I can get a laugh because they're right there in front of me and I can feel their energy. I can feel, I know that I won't bomb completely, or I feel very confident I won't. But in a Zoom show, if they laugh, I don't want them to laugh because then it takes the light off of my picture, and then I feel like people aren't focusing on my goddamn brilliant jokes. And I don't have fucking time for it, to be honest with you.
Well, you proved that last night because Josh got on the show because he was also booked on the show, and he had his son Henry with him, and boy did he fucking use it. Boy, Josh worked that like that. Man, we were talking before about how much we weren't really feeling doing the show, and then here we are. Josh about to do it. He's got Henry on his lap, and then my son turned the laptop off, and then Josh was gone for the last hour of the show. Right before they're about to call it. Literally, Josh had the sweet spot. It was one comic, and then Josh, and then he could have bounced and not done.
Which is the problem. That's part of the problem. You don't get somebody like Josh fucking Watts on a show and put me goddamn curtain jerking. Are you fucking kidding me? Come on, man.
You're not lying.
Come on.
You're not lying.
The second I saw that, I grabbed my son and I put Fruit Loops on the laptop. And I hit all those buttons. And he smashed the shit out of him. I still don't have a laptop. I don't have a laptop right now. I don't know. He smashed the shit out of him. He did turn it off and kind of flip it around, but
and yeah, it just took you too long to get back on.
Some of those people that are on that show, I talked a lot of shit about, specifically by name. I called them by name on previous episodes. Was like, hey, this guy wasn't funny, and then he's sitting right there on a Zoom show looking right at me, and I was like, oh. Man.
Okay, so this is how I handled that. Because I was out there on the island representing Buckets of Duckets.
You gotta tell the story. Explain what happened.
So I go up. I do the opening riff, like what I said, kind of about being nervous and how I can't believe this is what happened. I do the joke that I normally do, and then that I was planning on doing, and then I get to the end, I got like a minute left, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take this moment, and so I was like, I was like, so last time I did this show, I went on my podcast after and talked shit about all of you. I I ran you all down, and I want you all to know that after this show, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna talk shit about all of you again. And then our buddy, there was one specific comic that we pointed out very hard whenever we reviewed the first time we did the Zoom show, because that gentleman decided to do a bit about God being a cunt. His
like
words,
hardcore right out the gate.
His words,
fired strong with it.
And so he happened to be on this show again. It's not all the same comics that was on the first show.
The second he signed into the show, I was like, "Up!" and turned my up. Looks like I got to face the consequences of my actions. Not today.
So I have. By the way, you can find this. Like, you can fact check me on this shit. So like, at Tallahassee Comedy, I'm sure there's a stream in there somewhere. And so. I'm trying to show the sources. All right, it's out there if you want to actually see it. And so I call him out, and I was like, "Hey, buddy," I was like, "Do you still hate the Lord?" And and I think he was muted. He couldn't quite get to it. And I was like, because last time I did a show with you, you rocked my world whenever you said Jesus is a cunt. And I was like, I was so shocked, I didn't know what to do. I was like, I called my mother. I was like, Mom, there's guys out here calling God the C word. Yeah, Mama, I'm telling you, that's what he did. And I went on that riff. And
I went outside and hugged my babies after I heard him say that. I hugged my children.
Hold them tight. Hold them tight.
I held them so tight to my bosom.
Once you find out that type of evil's out there in the world, man, you got to hold what's important to you tight.
You got to hold them babies.
Yeah. I went and just found a baby. I just grabbed a baby and just held it, kissed it right quick, gave it right back. I'm respectful.
Everybody appreciated that.
Yeah, and so so I don't know, we did a second one, but it was I will say the comics were really good. Like, comics were funny. I had a good time. I think I had a better time this time. The first time it bummed me out so much because it made me really miss stand up,
Right.
And this time I'm living in a world where I know stand up is over. Like, so I'm kind of like, I guess this is everything. Yep. I'm as famous as anybody on this Zoom show, like, in doing comedy virtually like this. Like, Josh, in February, I had gigs booked all the way out to August. Now in March, I have one more show left for the rest of my life, apparently. That is all. That's all I got. I got July 24th and 25th in Coos Bay, Oregon at the Mill Casino. Please come out. Please come out. Please come out. I need you. I need you there. I struggle so much at this show.
Just for the
support. I need
to see it.
I need that support. Come, risk your lives. Okay, come.
It'll be worth it.
I'm willing for a couple people to die just to improve the economy. Okay, so
to restart comedy, Buckets of Duckets is willing to sacrifice. Just you're old. Just
you can all die. You can all die. Just
all you can die for us.
Just for me to be on the stage live again, please do that for me. But yeah, that's literally the only. This week I had the gig that was booked out. I was supposed to go to Tennessee in August, and the club owner called me and he was like, "Yeah, man, I can't." We cut it down to Friday and Saturday shows. We're pretty much only. I don't want to have somebody fly out for less money, and it just wouldn't have been worth it and everything. So like that gig got canceled, and so now I'm literally like, it was crazy how good the year started stand up wise.
Listen to you. They don't want to. It wouldn't be worth it for you to fly out. We drove 10 hours to do a show for $6. You got soft.
Things have changed, Josh.
Soft. White collar comedy made you soft.
The city changed you.
Makes me sick.
Yeah, but I don't know. I didn't have that same bummed out feeling this time after doing the Zoom show. I was kind of liked it. I don't know if I actually am going to do any more. He sent out like, "Hey, do you guys want to jump on any of these shows?" And I didn't respond.
I'm doing another one since I missed this one. So.
Oh, which one are you doing? Do you know?
July 14th or something.
Oh, okay.
I volunteered you for it too.
You son of a bitch.
So there's that.
So okay. Also, I over the past weekend, so Tacoma Comedy Club, which is like right outside of Seattle here, they're open. They're doing shows, And so me and our buddy Travis Elkins, who lives out here now.
6'9".
Travis Elkins.
Oh, he's like 5'9".
I think he's like 6'2". He's got some height.
Nope.
Nope.
I'm not impressed by it anymore.
Yeah.
I've seen the heights of Travis Nelson. So
yeah. So Elkins, he's our buddy from Louisiana. He also happened to move out here to Seattle because his wife is very successul. And
he tries to make me jealous by sending me pictures of y'all eating dinner and golfing together.
Yeah.
Fucking asshole.
He can't get to you. And so he asked me if I want to go to the show. He's like, "You want to go hang out at the show?" And I was real nervous about it, but I was like, what's it like? I kind of want to see what it's like. And so Corey Holcomb was headlining. Corey? He's from Wildin' Out. Aries Spears.
I recognize the name.
Aries Spears got his ass beat on his radio show one time. I don't know if you remember that story a couple years ago.
No.
All right. Well, here, I'll take that moment.
I want to hear that.
Yeah, Aries Spears. You probably know him from Mad TV.
Oh, I know Aries
Spears. He's a comedian. And so he
was just in the news for beefing with somebody, and everybody's like,
he's notoriously an asshole. I always hear bad stories about him. I always hear that he's not very nice to the wait staff and stuff like that. He's not nice to openers.
Well, I mean, he was on Mad TV.
And, well, yeah, he does have the clout for sure. And so, I don't know, he's on Corey Holcomb's show, and he's just being Aries Spears. I don't even know what it was they're talking about. I can't remember what that was, but he's doing something, and whoever Corey Holcomb's, like, sidekick is, they start getting into it, and basically sidekick's like, dude, you better chill out or I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. And Aries keeps going, and live on the radio, he fucking starts swinging at him. And the funniest thing is Corey Holcomb, the host, is just like laughing and commentating it and going like, I told you this was gonna happen. He was sitting there telling you that this was gonna happen if you fight. And then it was a whole thing.
And Aries Spears he sued the radio.
I'm sure he did.
The station. I just looked it up in my Encyclopedia Britannica.
Oh, good. I'm glad that the new year editions have that story in it.
Yeah, it had it in there.
Good.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, no wild. So Corey Holcomb is headlining in Tacoma. We go check it out, and man, so I'm seated up against the wall. I'm kind of in the back. I have a mask on. I'm sitting up against the wall. But it is also kind of fucked up because you have a 2-item minimum, like at comedy clubs. Like, you got to eat and drink, and so like a lot of people, they got their mask off to eat and drink and stuff. So like that's kind of weird as a conflict, And so, but it's also a bunch of people that decided they wanted to go out. So I guess they're in a different mentality than like. I mean, I'm there with them. I'm not any better, obviously. I'm sitting here trying to play it like I was curious or whatever, but I'm fucking out in public, in a tight environment. And so, but I at least felt good because, the club kind of knows me. And so I got to kind of sit in the back. And so nobody was like behind me, because that's what freaked me out. I was looking at everybody, and even though they were spread out, like, yeah, if somebody's laughing in the back or, whatever, like, that's going to travel pretty far. Like, you can be breathing all on my neck and stuff like that. And so that kind of freaked me out. Corey Holcomb is fucking wild, man. This dude, he's clearly living in a different world than the rest of the comedy community. Because he must not have heard that every comedian got canceled in the last week and a half, because he's just like up there, like hitting on the girl in the front, like made her stand up and like twirl around, and he's like talking about how he's gonna fuck her later and stuff, and people are dying laughing, like somehow it was funny. That's the weird thing about comedy, is once it comes off the stage, you try to repeat it. It's hard to to explain
I'm canceling him
everything that went in.
Now.
Dude, I have a feeling that he would never even hear about it, from what I can tell from watching him. So yeah, dude. I mean, he's got a funny set, and which, by the way, I don't want to say who, because I don't want to get him in trouble or anything. Somebody told me that he was very fucked up, even like whenever he got there, like he was very fucked up. So I was excited to see, and yeah, he was definitely fucking shit faced
to do comedy.
Yeah, I know, it's a wild thing. You usually don't see comics do drugs, but
unprofessional.
So anyway, he's hitting on the girl, and at some point he goes on some riff about how like, you're the man if you can tell your girl that you about to go fuck another girl or something like that, and just be open about it. Like that's the type of shit he's talking about, and and it's different lives.
Yeah,
and
totally different world.
And so then he gets his phone out, calls somebody, puts it on speakerphone, and the girl answers, like, hello?
That's always funny.
Yeah, he's like, hey, baby. And he's like, what's up? He's like, I'm going to fuck this girl in the front row tonight. You okay with that? And she was like, yeah, wear a rubber. All right, baby, I'll wear a rubber. Bow, hung up the phone. Everybody lost their shit. Big round of applause. And I couldn't help but think, like, it seemed to... Is that lady every night sitting around waiting for the call from Corey Holcomb to do the bit of, yeah, baby, fuck him with a rubber? Like, is that her job?
Well, unless she's in the crowd heckling Steve Hofstadter.
Are you saying she's a plant?
Yeah, that's just my intuition.
I got you. Yeah, so that was the first comedy show that I've seen in months. Live comedy show. That's what was going on. Comedy is a weird, crazy place, man.
Yeah, comedy's very weird. Comedy, I don't know, man. I would be nervous being inside a place like that.
I don't think I'm not gonna do it again. It really like made me think about it all over again. And then like I'm nervous about doing the show next month too, man. Like I'm nervous about all that laughter that I'm gonna cause just coming up at me. You know what I'm saying? Dude. Like just everybody,
because they're just gonna be laughing and it's gonna be projecting all of their virus particles right at your handsome face, dude. What the fuck, man?
I don't know. I got a strong face. I'll make them
remember your name if you do die from COVID. I'll make sure they remember your name. His name was Chase goddamn Myers. And you're going to say it.
Avenge me, bro.
Don't worry. I got you.
Get out there and avenge me.
The station down here in Baton Rouge started doing...
I saw that. I saw that you guys are doing shows.
No, not you guys. I'm not going in there.
Yeah. Oof. I can't imagine. Well, I mean, so with the history of that place...
It probably had worse than coronavirus already inside of it.
Already, for sure. And then also, it's probably just the comedians there, if I had to guess.
I didn't think of it like that, but that's probably true.
I don't know how many people are going to come out to that, because I know whenever everything was fine in the world...
Nobody came out.
It was a hard get to get people to come out.
The station is the longest running open mic in Baton Rouge right now. It's being run right now by our friend Morgan, Big Fucking Baby Right.
Morgan's got a podcast called what's it called? Get Right Downs to It.
I'm not saying it's Get Rights Down.
No, Get Right, because that's his last name, Morgan Wright, and then Downs to It because I guess co-host's last name is Downs. It's good shit. Go check it.
It's a good podcast. The name is just very confusing. Morgan is a comedian down here that is a friend of ours. And he and I have a birthday coming up in 3 days.
Yeah.
We share a birthday. And even though, dude, I'm going to be fucking 40.
Woo. 40. How you feel? How you feel about that? Strong.
That's how I feel.
Strong.
I don't know, man. It's not even... It's weird to say out loud, but I feel better than I felt in years physically. So I don't know.
Yeah, you're also so like you got a young mind, dude. You're not
It's a nice way to say
you're not even
mature as fuck.
Well, you're not even close to like an old 40. Like you still have hope, and like you like to laugh and shit and like that. Like God hadn't, like the world hasn't just like beat you down.
The world hasn't crushed me yet. Not yet. 42 though, I'm done. I still have dreams. My band could still make it.
Dude, I'm gonna learn the triangle. I'm gonna join. So whenever I'm 31. Whenever I turned 30,
it didn't. Shit, that's right. You are 31.
Yeah, I'm getting old, man. I'm starting to be an adult now. And whenever I turned 30, it didn't bother me at all. It was kind of like fun to me because I was like, look how good. I ain't got no kids. I ain't got no crazy life. Like, I'm doing what I want. I'm touring all, year round and all this stuff. And I'm like a fun 30 on me.
So it's your fault. Your arrogance brought this on.
And then, 31 felt different. 31 actually hit me because for some reason it like registered like I am in my 30s. Like I am not like whenever I just turned 30, it was like fun. It was new. But now I'm 31. I have been 30. I have lived a year in my 30s. I'm established in there. Like it's not, I don't have any more of that like fun. Oh, I'm still like late 20s, whatever. Like, nah, it's coming. Like you about to be old, bro. Like it's coming.
Yeah. It'll hit you. My favorite thing about getting older though has been I getting grays in my beard.
You like that?
Yeah. I do. And my wife loves it, and apparently it's appealing to women to have like a little salt and
yeah.
Little
silver almost
when
silver
it first
fox.
started, I was a little concerned. Not overly, but a little bit. And I asked Michelle about it, and they like it. And I like it too because it makes it look like I know some stuff. Like if you look at me and you're like, look at that piece of shit. Oh wait, is that gray in his beard? Oh, he probably knows something. Don't mess with him. He knows some stuff. And people just leave me alone. But now I'm wearing a mask, and all they see is, oh goddamn, he is so handsome and young and vibrant and youthful. I'm gonna go fuck him in this Target. And like, hey, I'm just trying to get groceries for my kids. You know what I mean?
I'm just trying to live my life. Okay, I put my jeans on one leg at a time.
But I don't. I jump into them.
Just a lot sexier than you. That's all.
I do push-ups and then I springboard up and jump into them both legs at the same
time. Dude, you want to get into? Let's. We've been going about 45 minutes. Let's get the people.
All right.
Let's get the people a little taste. You want to intro this? You want me to explain it?
Oh man, we talked about. We were going to talk about some of our favorite wrestling controversies to talk about. Because the world of professional wrestling is rife with controversy, scandals, and gross stuff, especially right now with every wrestler that's ever wrestled just about is getting called out for some kind of sexual assault or being just a gross fucking weirdo. I will say before we get into this, I tend to believe all the stories because it doesn't seem worth it to come forward and lie about something like that.
No,
so I tend
and
to
then
women.
so often in these cases when one person comes forward, the other people's stories are so similar that like let me call upon the great Cat Williams right quick. Cat Williams had a amazing joke about Michael Jackson way back in the day. Where he basically was like, he did it. Like, motherfuckers don't say the same thing about you for 20 years if you hadn't been doing it. And if everybody's saying the same thing about you, look, we fucking talked about it. Go back to comedy right quick. We talked about this before we turned the mics on. Chris D'Elia, that piece of shit, his team decided to put out some of his own screenshots that he thought made him look better, which is like, okay, if you thought that those somehow explain those two situations, which by the way it didn't, you still can't explain. You still can't explain the other 30. You fucking dumbass. It's over. Okay, it's over. You lucky you're not in jail.
Yeah. So a story came out about Matt Riddle, who used to be a UFC fighter.
Let me say this one detail. So guys that aren't wrestling fans, we're trying to stay to just the outside the ring kind of stuff that you can get. So just basically, we're telling you, it's a crazy news story. Is all right. We're not gonna go too far to where you're like, I don't know wrestling, I'm not gonna get it.
No,
it's just consider them all like Florida man stories. Okay, that's basically
it basically is. Yeah. So Matt Riddle used to be a UFC fighter, and he kept failing drug tests for weed, and then ended up becoming a wrestler. And I fucking love
I like
him.
that move.
I love him. I think he's probably one of my favorite wrestlers. I liked him when he fought UFC. A woman came forward with some assault allegations against him, and I tend to believe most of them. So I was really it sounds weird to say I was upset to find out that a guy I really loved was a dirtbag, but I was.
Yeah.
And then it turns out he's not. Or the story that came forward was a stalker that he has multiple restraining orders and stuff all against. So that's like the only story that has been proven not true. Like all the other 400 stories that have come out in the last 2 weeks have been backed up over and over and over, and it's real gross. But these stories are not those gross weirdo stories. These are my favorite fun stories.
Yeah, these are more fun. These are more fun.
Here's a story that involves the President of the United States of America.
Let's go.
If you'd like to know that.
I would. I would love to know.
On July 11th, 2007, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, the chairman, owner of WWE, at the end of the show, stepped into his limousine and closed the door to leave, and the limousine exploded, seemingly signifying his fiery death. He obviously didn't die. And
because it's a TV show.
Because it's a TV show, but then this was, I should have looked this up. I think this was the week before the Chris Benoit stuff broke or something. This was right around.
It's close. I can confirm what you're saying. Yeah, I saw that on Dark Side of the Ring, which if you guys want to see some crazy wrestling stories, that's an amazing documentary series to watch. Show. That happened, and then Chris Benoit kills his family. Spoiler alert, guys. If you don't know who Chris Benoit was, there's a wrestler years ago that killed his whole family. It is horrifying. But Vince McMahon, like a week or two before, his car exploded on TV, and they were doing this whole soap opera angle of he's dead. But now they had a real wrestler actually kill people, and so guess what? He's not dead. He can no longer be dead.
So what they did, they had this big meeting where they said right before this happened that they're redoing their marketing strategy and going towards a more realism-based angle with wrestling. And then that night they faked his death. And the now President of the United States called Vince McMahon's family to send his condolences because Donald Trump believed that Vince McMahon died when his limousine exploded on national TV, and the camera just hung on it for like 3 minutes at the end of a show while the credits rolled.
That is the funny part. Like, what is the camera crew doing while their boss is dying? Like, you gotta get this footage. They're just standing
there filming it.
You gotta get this footage.
But
Vince,
then,
go ahead.
The next week they had to say that it was wrong because I believe it was the Chris Benoit stuff broke. I should have looked it up.
That is. No, you're 100% right.
So the Benoit stuff broke right the next week, and so then Vince McMahon was on TV. And I remember in 2007, I was 27 years old, and I was watching professional wrestling, and I watched Vince McMahon die. And then the next Monday night, that some bitch just fucking walked out, just unburned. Just walked down the fucking stage, dude. Unburned in a big old zoot suit. It looked like a zoot suit. And whew.
Vince McMahon has a list of crazy stories associated with him. Vince McMahon is the owner of WWE, as Josh said.
His wife, Linda McMahon, is what is she?
I don't know, Trump? Some kind of
the small business or something.
She's out there draining the swamp, you know. Yeah, you know how Trump said he was going to drain the swamp, and he immediately hired WWE's owner, his wife, to run something. Yeah. The story I always think about with Vince McMahon is the fact that he believes that you can control if you sneeze. You know that little thing about him? So Vince McMahon is such a lunatic that if you sneeze in front of him, you might be fired. Yeah, you might be fired because he looks at that as weakness. He looks at it as weakness
because you can't control it.
That you couldn't control
the hiccups, it. There is a story. So I've been obsessed with wrestling. I don't ever remember not watching it. Every book. I like the behind-the-scenes stuff. I like the stories. Every book, every DVD, every documentary I could get my hands on, I'd watch. And I remember reading a lot of stories come out that aren't true because people are bitter that, whatever. But I remember a story coming out that Vince McMahon got the hiccups in a writing meeting. And he couldn't stop himself from hiccuping, and he smashed his laptop and left. Went to the gym, worked out, and came back.
Yeah, look him up, by the way, guys. If you don't know look up Vince McMahon. This man is in his 70s, 75.
Hey, he's fucking jacked. He was on the cover of Men's Fitness not that long ago.
Yeah, a couple years ago. Yeah, this man is insane. Like, from what I understand, he never sleeps.
Never sleeps, works out, and eats tuna constantly. They said his office smells like tuna fish because he just eats cans of tuna for the protein.
I've heard people say that he gets his blood replaced. I believe our buddy Morgan Wright that we shouted out his podcast. He's always yelling that, so I'm crediting him with that lie.
Exactly,
yeah. Yeah, man, that dude. It's whenever you hear like just backstage wrestling stories and stuff, it all comes from up top. When the top is that crazy, like yeah.
One of my favorite ones that and you weren't watching wrestling when this. You were 10 when this happened. In 2000 and what was it? April 26, 2000 on a Thursday night Thunder.
Love
Diamond
this.
Dallas you have Page was tag teaming up with Hollywood movie star David Arquette against Jeff Jarrett, a notorious sack of shit Jeff Jarrett, and Eric Bischoff in I think it was a 3 stages of hell match. It was like 3 steel cages stacked on top of each other. Because David Arquette had done that movie with James Caan's kid, Scott Caan, called Ready to Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Side story. You have a movie about wrestling fans that are obsessed with WCW. You have WCW working with you so you can use all of their characters, all of their history, all of their wrestlers. And instead, what they do is they hire fat fuck Oliver Platt to play some king version of a wrestler that doesn't exist in the movie. In the movie about the real company, WCW, that they had access to the real footage and the real wrestlers of, they just made this pretend guy up to be the main superstar of their company for this movie. And they picked Oliver Platt, who was just he looked like Humpty Dumpty with a beard. And he played the king, I think he was called. Anyway, it was fucking stupid. The movie was shit. I saw it 3 times in the theater. The second 2 times I saw it was just out of anger. It was just spite. I just went and saw it because here's my $10 because fuck you. That's why. Here's $10 because fuck you, you piece of Oliver Platt. What are you doing? It was a terrible movie. So in this match, April 26, 2000 on Thursday Night Thunder. At the time, WCW had one main show on Monday nights called Nitro. They thought they had enough story to split into a second show on Thunder on Thursday nights. And nobody gave a shit about it, so they always tried to do something big to get people to watch it, and this was their big thing. And David Arquette, Hollywood superstar, living acting legend David Arquette, pinned Eric Bischoff to become the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. The same title, Harley Race, Ric Flair, Buddy Rogers.
Dusty
the same
Rhodes.
Title, Sting. The same title Dusty Rhodes had, David Arquette has. Now,
David Arquette, just like guys, if you don't watch wrestling, actors don't get into wrestling also and do things, and they definitely, whenever they do pop up on wrestling stuff, they're just cheering. They're not actually in matches and stuff. They put an actor in a match and then made him the champion of their entire wrestling organization.
Wrestlers are supposed to be larger than life warrior gladiators that battle it out for us, right? They're bigger than life. They're characters like you dream about being when you're a kid. There's Vikings. They're all like certain, like monoliths. They're these huge archetypes of characters that we love that are bigger than life. That it's like a fantasy world. And then you have a 150-pound actor who's never fought before in his life come in and beat your guys. It makes you all look fucking stupid. And I was so fucking mad. Irrationally mad about it.
Here's the thing about that is David Arquette's not going to be there forever. So say after he's done promoting the movie and it's over and then he loses the title or whatever, now you got a bunch of people that lost to actor David Arquette. Right. And that's what you're going to watch. So you're going to always watch a match and go, you know who'd beat both their ass? David Arquette.
That guy from Scream. So, but to be fair, this might be getting way inside baseball. Basically, they said that he killed the prestige of the world title. To be fair, David Arquette is such a huge wrestling fan that he fought against winning the title. Didn't want to do it because he knew how fans would feel because he felt the same way being a fan.
Mm-hmm.
But now he enjoyed that so much that now 20 years later, he is a professional wrestler. He is trained and he wrestles like he started at the bottom and worked it. He's working his
Are you
way
serious?
up.
I didn't know this part
dude.
of it. I knew he
David
was a big
Arquette
wrestling fan. I didn't realize he actually started wrestling.
He's a trained independent
what
wrestler.
a maniac.
I think he's been in Ring of Honor. Yeah. Now he's 50. He's got 50, over 50 maybe.
This dude's,
but he's like
his brain is gonna be mush.
Dude, he's in like National Guard armor. He's wrestling, like really paying his dues. There's a video online that very famous one of somebody telling him that somebody yells at him in the crowd about him being a broke bitch or something. That's why he's wrestling. And he turns around, he looks this dude straight in his face, and he says, "I got friends money, motherfucker." And I mean, dude, like he's got a character, he's gear, he does hardcore matches. You ought to look him up on YouTube.
I'm definitely gonna look him up. That's crazy.
It's like I feel the same way about him now as I do Mike Mizanin, The Miz.
Mm-hmm.
The Miz Mike Mizanin was a guy who was on MTV's Real World in like, I don't know, the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, it's like early 2000s.
He's around the same age as me, and when he was on the Real World, he was the first person I'd ever seen him. I watched it. I fucking love the Real World. He was the first person I'd seen that was super into wrestling on like a show like that. And he had a character, and he would break into character and do it on the Real World. And this character was called The Miz. And then after the Real World, this dude went and trained, worked his way up, and now is a professional wrestler. One of the best ones, I think, one of the best wrestlers in the world.
And called The Miz. He got to keep the name.
The Miz.
Like that. That doesn't happen. That's like him as a child, like thinking of this character. One day I'm gonna be in WWE and be called The Miz, and he goes on the Real World. One day I'm gonna be in WWE and be called The Miz, and then he's The Miz in WWE.
We used to watch those Real World Road Rules challenges, and he was always really good at them. Where they would take the cast from Road Rules and Real Worlds and put them in these stupid fucking obstacle courses where they just hate each other and then fuck all night.
I miss that kind of reality show TV.
That had no point whatsoever.
Yeah, and also nobody thought any of those people should be president. So like that made reality shows so much better. As nobody was looking at it and going, "These are influential people who should be making decisions in our world."
Nobody thought Trishelle should be president. I said that like you were going to know who I was talking about from the Real World in the late 90s.
I'm going to roll with it, though. All right. She's not ready.
Her name was Trishelle, and she was from Cutoff, Louisiana. And she was gross.
I didn't know she was one of our own.
Yeah, she's not a good person. Or wasn't on the show. I don't know her personally. She might have turned out fine. She might be a mother. She might volunteer at an animal shelter. Pray for people, but when she was on TV, she was a stone cold dumbass.
All right, give us one more wrestling story, and then let's get out of here.
All right, I will tell you this is one of my biggest disappointments in the world of professional wrestling. And look, after these stories, if you have any stories of your own or any comments or anything, send them to me, man. I'll talk wrestling all day, every day to anybody. Send them to us. Bucketsofduckets.com. The contact tab has a form you can fill out and it comes straight to us. Tell us some stories we're not talking about, or if you think differently about them.
Yeah, they're good. We'll talk about them on the show.
Would love to hear it.
Yes, absolutely.
So my favorite story in the around early 2000s, after WCW closed down, wrestling books and documentaries were a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Benoit thing, I literally have like 9 or 10 books on Chris Benoit and his family and stuff upstairs. If it's a book about wrestling, I've read it. I read.
He's not lying either. Like Josh is not. He's being so serious. Yeah.
I read Chyna's autobiography. The Rock's autobiography, when it came out in the 90s or early 2000s, was written in third person.
Yep, I was about to say. Tell him what was weird about that.
It's the most aggravating shit I've ever read. It's 300 pages of a book where he says, and then The Rock was at college, and as a college student, The Rock, and oh man, it's horrible. But most of those were WWF books. And back in the day, I'll be honest, other than Hulk Hogan, I was a big WCW fan. Sting was my guy. I used to have flat top I loved Sting. He was such
I think you still might have it.
Little...
I think you still might have some flat top.
I tried to grow a little rat tail like he had in the back. Sting was my man. And then in 2004, A Moment of Truth was coming out, and it was a book and a DVD. A movie about the life and times of Sting, the life and resurrection of Sting, I think is what it's called, Steve Borden. And I was super excited. I was like, dude, this is going to get all the details, because you didn't know a lot about Sting behind the scenes, like who he really was. You didn't know a lot about him. And I ordered it online because it wasn't going to be available in stores, which should have been a red flag. That I had to order it from, New Life Tabernacle. You know how every mall...
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, it's a Jesus-y movie.
Every mall has next to it, they have like a David's Bridal, and then next to that is a Bible store. Whatever that Bible store is, that's who I had to order the movie and book from.
Right.
And I didn't think it was weird for whatever reason. And I'm going to get Chase to try to put some clips into this.
Oh, this is going to be a clip. If you're watching on YouTube, or if you're listening on the podcast, the YouTube version will have some clips in it.
The book, and I'll put a picture up for it. The book is it looks like a kid's book. It's like a little hard, it's got hard cardboard cover, and it's like, I don't know, 100 pages. And it's like Sting did drugs, and then Jesus, 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 Jesus. And now he's back at wrestling. And the DVD is not even Sting. They got somebody to play Sting in his own DVD. And the guy that plays Sting doesn't look anything like Sting at all. Not even a little bit.
And so this DVD, it's a movie, or is it supposed to be like it's like a dramatized documentary? Like, it's loosely based on his life, or is it
it's supposedly based on his life and him finding Jesus and giving up drugs and turning to Jesus. But all it focuses on is the Jesus thing. And there is a scene at the end of it that I'm not kidding, and I wish I was. At 24 years old, I watched this, and to this day, I have still had nightmares about this scene every once in a while. Sting, after WCW closed, before TNA, he ended up wrestling in the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase's Jesus Wrestling Federation, Christian Wrestling. I'm not sure what it's called. And he's in the ring wrestling, and the lights start going out, and then demons chain him up, and he has to break free of the chains and it's lightning is striking, and it's such a weird thing that has nothing to do with wrestling. And I watched it. I paid $40 for this in 2004 for a book and a DVD. The DVD is like, I want to say it's like 30, 45 minutes. It's not a movie. It's not a full anything. And the book is like 100 pages. And I watched it. And when it was over, I was so fucking mad that I watched it again to see, like, maybe
you have a pattern. There has
to be bonus features. There has to be bonus. Like, this isn't it. This isn't it.
I thought you were about to say you were angry, so you watched it again. I was about to say, that's twice now that you've angrily watched stuff. Yeah.
Out of spite, I still watch it once a year to remind myself that I was too fucking... I should have known.
You can be this stupid. Don't forget that you were the same stupid person that bought this.
I have the cover of the DVD I keep taped next to my mirror. So every time before I go do anything, I look at it and go, don't be that dumbass again. Don't do it. It was the biggest disappointment. I thought I was getting a 2-hour DVD about Sting's life. He was getting interviews with him and other wrestlers. No other wrestlers are in this. People play wrestlers that don't look anything like him. The dude that plays Arn Anderson has a mullet. If you know anything about Arn Anderson, he's bald. That's the first thing you should know about him. No, the first thing you should know is he has the best spine buster in all of wrestling.
That is what you definitely need to know about him.
No, the second thing is that he got stabbed by Sid Vicious. Third thing is that he's bald.
Toot.
You don't want to toot my own horn, but toot. You can say that with a straight face and come off as a badass.
Hey, you look badass saying toot.
You're double A Arn Anderson.
Do you want to tell it? You just kind of slid in a very juicy story about him getting stabbed. Do you want to actually tell that too?
Oh, man. Yeah, I can tell that story.
Yeah, get that in there, because I feel like I'm going to have people hit me up like, so Josh mentioned somebody got stabbed and then you just ended the show. So let's.
All right, I'm pulling it up on my phone to make sure I get the details correct. But Let me, boy. So Arn Anderson and a wrestler named Sid Vicious, who was famous for missing shows to do softball and then snapping his leg in the ring, got into an argument. Let me find the. I want to make sure I get this right. They were. So this is so stupid. They were in a bar in England and they're drinking and partying and hanging out, and it's all the WCW wrestlers, right? And they're doing an overseas tour in England and they're partying. Mm-hmm. And I want to make sure. Sid said he was mad because he didn't have his steroids and he knew he was not going to be able to take them on the plane. So he was having a lot of anger issues around the time. Now, this is Stone Cold Steve Austin's recounting.
I was about to say, where's this coming from? Okay.
Because Stone Cold Steve Austin was there when Sid Vicious stabbed Arn Anderson with a pair of safety scissors. So Sid and Arn got into a fight in a bar. And I'm sorry, it's so stupid. And they go back to the room, and Arn Anderson starts trimming his beard with a pair of scissors. And Sid knocks on the door and says, "Hey, I'd like to end the night on better terms. I'd rather go to the bed on better terms than what we left it because they were fighting in the bar." So Arn agrees and opens the door.
What a move! Hey, look, man, I couldn't sleep. I can't go to bed angry at you. Can I come in? I just want to come in.
But come on, really? Because Sid Vicious isn't.
His name's Sid Vicious.
Please be on the door at 2:30. Yeah,
it's
Sid
not
Vicious.
It's not Sid Precious.
To be your friend.
They don't call him Sid Precious.
I'm reading it to make sure I get it right. So Sid offers to go to bed on good terms. So he's like, "Hey, just open your hotel room and let's shake hands, so he can go to bed on good terms." And Arn Anderson says, "No, I think we're on good terms. It's fine." And Sid says, "No. Open the door."
I mean, what do you think I would do? Just open the door. Come on, man. Do you think I'm going to go crazy and stab you or something? Like, why won't you open the door?
So, when he opens the door, Sid Vicious hits Arn Anderson with the leg of a chair that he had broken off from the bar.
Whoa! From the bar? He broke a chair in the bar and then took an elevator up with the bars.
Hold the chair leg.
Whoa!
Do you know how much I would love to be the person that was in the elevator at 2:30 in England when 6'12", 340-pound Sid Vicious comes in with a table leg and just waits?
You look straight ahead. You look straight ahead and you mind your goddamn business. That's how you survive their life, like alive.
So he hits him with a chair leg and they start wrestling around. Sid, I love that the article said Sid brought the chair leg on purpose. So
it wasn't an accident. This was no accident that this chair leg was there.
With the chair leg. So Arn Anderson stabs Sid Vicious with the scissors 2 times. And then Sid gets the scissors while Arn tries to run to an elevator. These are grown, huge men.
These are 30-something-year-old men.
And
these are people with family, kids.
So Arn gets in the elevator, tries to hit down because he knows that Sid Vicious is a goddamn monster and is about to kill him with these scissors. He hits the down button. I'm going to read this directly so you know. And then Sid Vicious stabbed Arn Anderson 28 or 30 times, trying to kill him.
That'll do it.
So the cops had to show...
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, get that in.
Yeah, the cops had to show up and break it up. Arn Anderson was hospitalized. It ended up ending his career. He still has nerve damage in his arm that he can't hold his arm straight from it. And I left out a detail that I do not want to leave out. Before, when they were fighting in the bar before the stabbing, Sid Vicious tried to stab him with a squeegee that he grabbed out of a bucket in the bar. He flipped it around and was trying to stab Arn with a squeegee.
Jesus.
And Stone Cold said that he remembers that detail because Brian Pillman was standing right beside him and said, "What the fuck are you doing?" Which is a great reaction if you see somebody trying to stab someone with a squeegee.
That's the only thing you can say. That is the correct answer. Is what the fuck are you doing? Also, so this ended Sid Vicious's career, right? He never wrestled again, and this was because once you stab somebody, there's no way you can get that job back, right?
You would think that Sid Vicious wasn't even taken off of the tour.
He worked the next night.
Yeah.
After he tried to murder somebody.
Then he continued wrestling until he snapped his leg in the ring with.
And that is gruesome.
The big bad booty daddy.
I cannot advise you guys enough to not go fucking watch that clip. Do not.
As somebody I've had a compound fracture of my leg. Compound fracture means the bone breaks through the skin. Sid Vicious has the same break that I had on my leg. Oof. And it happens. He jumps off a turnbuckle and he lands, and you just see the bone. It's horrible.
It is not what you want to see.
Watch it. You do want to see it. It's fucking great. Every time I watch it, I come.
And we're going to end it there, ladies and gentlemen.
That might have been a little inside baseball, inside wrestling. But I figure if you listen to the show, you probably like wrestling. If you have any stories that I didn't mention, or you want to tell me I'm dumb or how wrong I am about any of them, or you just want to talk about how great The Undertaker's documentary on the WWE Network is, go to bucketsofduckets.com, contact us tab, and then send me a message. If it's mean, don't send it, because I'll find it.
That is our policy. All right, we don't want to hear it, okay? We only hear nice stuff. Guys, thank you so much for listening, man. I can't tell you how much fun we had. Appreciate y'all supporting. Make sure you go subscribe on whatever podcast streaming service that you were using. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Check out the new website, bucketsofduckets.com.
Please.
For myself, Chase Myers.
I'm Josh Watts. Thank y'all very much.
Peace.
Get fucked.